After the summers, we look forward to the pitter-patter of the rains, and the monsoons ushers in a sense of happiness and festivity. Colors of India brings you cultural celebrations of different kinds. Welcome to the show. The main stories are Lord Krishna's stories, ethereal tunes, and momos that got a makeover. The capital's oldest cultural hub, Shriram Bharatiya Kala Kendra, recreated on stage on the occasion of Janmashtami, the life story of Lord Krishna.
The 35th edition of Krishna, a dance drama portraying the journey of the icon from his adorable childhood days and youthful antics to the center stage of human reverence, was shown in 2 parts. The first half of the play was devoted to popular episodes like Makhan Chori, Govardhan and Kalya Ras. The performers presented a folk hero who was surpassingly gallant in meeting the crisis confronted by a community like threats from the animals of the forest.
It's a ballet which begins from Krishna's birth to his liberation. I mean, most people are very familiar with the populist episodes such as Makhan Chori and Govardhan and Ras Leela and all. But we feel that after the Gita Updesh is as important and so we take it right up to the end of the Mahabharata.
Krishna's fascinating personality, wise and heroic and loving and loved, gifted with sage-like detachment and still intensely human, was articulated beautifully through a mix of Odissi and Kathak. The dance drama brought to life the sensual love lore of Radha and Krishna. The moves were intense as Radha and Krishna swayed rhythmically together through their phases of passionate love.
The choreography, every year we used to change, even the first dance when the Krishna Janam lete hain tab. Oh, it's also a new version. It's totally it's a folk, classical and martial art mixed production, Krishna.
The second half shed light on Krishna's role during the Mahabharata. Why man isolates himself and rises against his comrades was portrayed through a fascinating mix of enthralling music, spectacular choreography, precise lighting, immaculate costumes, and an overall ambience that left the audience spellbound.
As the curtains fell, lessons from the Bhagavad Gita floated from afar like the voice from the skies. Now, during the monsoons, classical arts in India have always had their own say. Stay with us to find out why.
Long ago, on wet rainy days, Indian emperors and their courtiers used to make a day of it by just listening to music, which captivated the very essence of rain. On a similar day, eminent Hindustani classical vocalist Lakshmi Shriram performed Khayal compositions on the occasion of the monsoon festival.
Malhar actually means that which destroys mala or dirt and impurity. Most of the ragas have this this phrase. Most of them have. Generally, the ragas are supposed to depict or evoke a mood of the languor of the rain, rather. And some compositions can also evoke the joy of rain.
Her musical prayer to the rain gods began with the piece Ghumar Ghumar Ghar Aave. Adding to her melodic voice was tabla by Subhash Kanti Das and harmonium by Damodar Lal Ghosh.
When she was just doing the Veda Bhajan, it was just like that you are just listening something which is, even if you do not know the meaning, you will just attempting to listen the same.
In Rag Gad Malhar, she presented the bandish Juki Aire Badariya Savan Ki, followed by Bund Bund Lagi, rekindling the smell of earth drenched with rain. And both these pieces were duly applauded by the audience.
Listen to her music intensely and you will feel the wetness of the rains cool you down. Relax for a bit longer while we go in for a small non-commercial break.
Coming up next, World Flute Festival and delicious fried treats.
Welcome back. The flute is always associated with Lord Krishna, and at the World Flute Festival they celebrated the mystical powers of this instrument.
In the beautiful setting of the Lotus Temple rose the resonating sound from a flute. On the eve of Janmashtami, Krishna Prerna Foundation hosted its third Rasrang World Flute Festival, remembering the Lord's beloved instrument. Running along were themes of peace, love and water.
Rasrang has 4 big festivals every year, and I'll speak specifically about the Rasrang World Flute Festival, which is the 3rd edition. It's not surprising to me that within 2 years it's become a 4-city festival, and I'm not going to be surprised that if next year it becomes 8. The reason is very simple. You allow people to come on a platform, give them the respect, give them the trust, and that's what Krishna philosophy is all about. Let them blossom the way they want to blossom.
The evening was packed with different hues of music. Blow was the first segment, which brought Indian, Mexican and Russian musicians together. The hall boomed with high-pitched vocals of Rajasthani folk singers. After their vibrant performance, which gave the audience a taste of India, came Nathalie Ramirez Tovar and her group from Mexico. Her flute, accompanied by various instruments, brought out a different form of music, both light and happy. Blow ended with a full swing orchestra performance composed by Suhail Yusuf Khan. Using contemporary rhythms, he based his compositions around Lord Krishna. Backing this was the deep sound of didgerido, a wind instrument from indigenous Australia, played by Russians Shemyakina Asya.
If you ask me, as a layman or as a musician, it's just music, honest music. And I'm not a big fan of the term fusion. I don't think so, that really works together, because right now we are in an age of so much of information that everybody knows what's going around. And such a big migration happening all over the world. So
the second segment was called Boonde, showcasing the breathtaking performance of ace flutist Praveen Godkhindi on his 8-foot-high contrabass flute. This flute's range is 2 octaves lower than normal flutes, which is why it takes a tremendous amount of breath to play it. Nevertheless, Praveen played traditional ragas meant for singing on smaller flutes.
I find it very important that the next generation should understand and value our culture. But the problem is that unless we speak to them in their language, it's difficult to capture them. So I have devised certain means wherein I can hold this younger crowd, and once they listen to this kind of music, experimental music, I would like to call experimental than fusion, wherein they get a pulse of what Indian classical music is.
Encapsulating the audience into a trance, Naveen Kumar's meditative tune was the perfect ending for the evening. But as the lead flutist of A.R. Rahman's ensemble, he couldn't of course leave without playing a famous dance number.
The possibility of this rather simple and completely natural instrument never ceases to surprise me. What a way of celebrating Janmashtami. Now that reminds me of the Indo-Canadian Friendship Day celebration that was organized recently.
The High Commission of Canada in India celebrated Canada-India Friendship Day on the eve of India's 65th Independence Day. This saw guests dressed in colours of the Indian national flag. It is significant as India and Canada are currently negotiating the Comprehensive Economic Partnerships Agreement (CEPA), which is essentially a free trade agreement.
I think this is a fantastic way to bring the two countries together. We have a large Indian diaspora, as you know, in Canada, and this part of what I would say Indian culture. Plus, it's a very significant day in India's history, so it's very important for us to celebrate that together. We share common values between Canada and India, rule of law, pluralistic societies, democracies, all wonderful things to celebrate, and we're just so happy to be able to do this with our staff, with Canadian friends, with Indian friends. People from the government of India were here today.
High Commission staff and guests painted canvases depicting Canada-India friendship and even flew kites on the occasion. But the real winners when it came to flying kites were the children from the Salam Bhalak Trust, an NGO.
We all come to work every day, and the objective is to build the Canada-India relationship. So we thought, we're celebrating Indian independence, why don't we celebrate what we do at work every day as well, which is Canada-India friendship and all the potential that the relationship has. So that's where that idea came in. And we thought, well, what can we do that would be fun? We thought of flying the kite, and that has a lot of symbolism as well. It represents freedom, the soaring free kite, but it also represents the relationship between India and Canada, which is soaring to new heights. So we thought, great symbolism, a lot of fun, a wonderful front lawn which we have to take advantage of that, and everybody seemed to have had a good time doing it.
The delegates cut a friendship cake and competed for the coveted title of Best Dressed Man and Woman in Indian attire. The national anthems of both these countries were also sung at the gathering.
It is when diplomatic relationships between two countries moves forward from just plain politics that real friendship and understanding is nurtured. Now it is time for us to go on a small break. Don't go anywhere. Colors of India will soon return.
Coming up, momos, Punjabi style.
Welcome back. On Food Trail this week, we show you what the young and the diet conscious like to feast on. We follow the students of Delhi University on their food trail.
Be it fashion or be it food, Delhi University's young blood loves to experiment.
College life is said to be a gift-wrapped experience of fun, frolic and endless good food. Well, I'm here at Satyaniketan in South Campus to relive my college days. Well, I couldn't possibly sit through the classes again, but what I can do is try some of the tastiest food here at Cuties. This place is said to be famous for its amazing tandoori momos. So just sit back and follow the food trail.
Bright, colorful interiors keeps up with the variety of their customers, and college students love to flock this eatery for its cool appeal, quick service and inexpensive menu. At just 75 rupees, the taste of tandoori momos is incomparable. The general favorite, the much modified momos, were the color of sunset, orange bordering on red, served with garlic sauce, and they tasted like a sizzling kebab straight out of the tandoor.
Spicy, tangy and the mouth-watering goodness of traditional momos. Tandoori momos at Cuties are indeed made to perfection.
Here, one could be spoiled for choice. Honey chili chicken, hakka noodles, crispy fried potato, paneer roast with blue lagoon. The portions were large, piping hot and good to taste.
As far as the making of it is concerned, it's basically steamed momos. After that, there is a special marination that we make out of it, and then it's put in the skewers and we cook it in the tandoor.
Cuties also has some affordable combos on offer, like chicken lababdar with naan. And with tabs that can fit their budget, college goers can't get enough of their hangout zone.
South Campus is often looked upon as the poor cousin of North Campus. Well, that could be a huge misconception considering some of the best colleges and some of the coolest eatery joints are right here at South Campus. And clearly, tandoori momos top the list at Cuties.
Like I always say, if you have a favorite eating spot, then do let us know through our Facebook page. And of course, stay tuned for our next episode because Colors of India turns 50. Until then, goodbye and take care.